Hi Aquarius, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on the Fool's Journey Tarot. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Aquarius for this upcoming week in July. Today is Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. So this is a general reading, and that means that it can apply to anything in your life, Aquarius. I want to remind you to be flexible with the energy. Don't be overly concerned about the gender of the cards. You can mix and match the roles within the reading. Parts of the reading may resonate for you, other parts may not. My intention is that I reach those that need this message and will benefit from it. So I hope, Aquarius, that by the time you finish watching this video, not only did you enjoy it, but I hope that you feel like you have something that's beneficial to you, so that you didn't waste your time, because who wants to waste time? We all might feel like we have a whole lot of time on our hands at this point, but time is still valuable, no matter what. Whether you're sitting at home in front of the TV or sleeping, it's still valuable. So I don't want you to sit there and think, oh gosh, that video, it didn't do anything for me, because that would be a waste of time, right? That's how I would feel. Okay, Aquarius, we're gonna get started here pretty soon. Carmela's in the background. She just took a bath a while ago, so she's a little bit wet. I'm happy that she's hanging out back there. Sylvester the cat is also here, but he's in the living room napping. I'm happy he's in the living room napping. It's very peaceful right now. Okay, Aquarius, here we go. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Pentacles in reverse. That's an interesting start. Let's see what else we get. The Knight of Pentacles. At least he's in the upright, that's good. The Hierophant in reverse. Nine of Swords. Death in reverse. Ace of Wands. And the World. This is an interesting first set to come out here, Aquarius. So we have two people, two separate energies on the table, a King and Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like both are in their heads, and I feel like it's regarding this relationship or connection. Something perhaps that's going wrong within the connection. So I'm not going to interpret exactly what these reversals mean yet, because I can't tell, except that I think both are definitely, I mean, it's obvious because we have the Nine of Swords out here. Both are in their heads dwelling on something that's gone wrong within this relationship, or that's going wrong within this relationship. Could be anything. With the Pentacles, Queen and King of Pentacles, this could be related to work or finances. Could be related to the home, security of the home. This could be a intimate connection, spouses or partners. Doesn't have to be, but it feels that way to me, at least right now. Feels like there could potentially be a desire to end this cycle, whatever's going on between these two, and start new, start fresh, start over. And I don't know exactly what that means either, but it feels like a cycle needs to be ended or is ending, and a new beginning either needs to happen or is going to happen. This feels like future energy to me. And with Death in reverse and then the World coming out, I feel like there's still something that needs to be addressed or worked through. Something needs to be closed out, or there needs to be some closure of some kind. Let's get some more cards out for Aquarius and see what else we get. Queen is clarified by the Hanging Man. The King is clarified by the Six of Wands in reverse. Six of Cups in reverse. There's the World again, this time in reverse. The Fool in reverse. The Six of Swords. Four of Cups. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Interesting. Okay, so Aquarius, I want to remind you, first of all, male or female, if you're resonating with this reading, you could be either one of these parties. This Queen of Cups could be somebody different. I haven't decided yet. So even if you're a male, you can embody the Queen of Pentacles energy. Females can embody the King of Pentacles. It's not about the gender of the card. So when I refer to these two, I will use the pronouns he and she, but be mindful that if you resonate, just ignore that. If you resonate as the opposite gender, just ignore that. So I feel like this Queen of Pentacles is feeling stuck or feeling like she can't make any moves right now. It feels like she could be waiting on this King of Pentacles to make some decisions or to take some action, but I think he's also dependent upon others. It feels like there's other people involved. This could be a family situation, group dynamic. It could be a workplace situation. With the Six of Cups in reverse coming out here, it feels like this is a long-standing relationship. One that has been around for a while. There's some, again, some kind of unresolved issue from the past or conflict. There could be some resentment between these two. It could be that there's some doubt about the relationship itself and whether or not it's the right idea to continue to move forward with the way things are, at least right now. Could be that there's a lack of desire or even willingness to start again, try again, start over, start new, start fresh. I believe that's probably what needs to happen, but maybe that's not being considered right now. It may not be an option right now because I don't know that these two are feeling very good about each other. This Queen of Pentacles to me feels stuck. She feels like she's waiting on this King for some reason. And he's either reluctant or resistant to taking some kind of action, communicating, whatever this looks like. Whatever needs to happen to resolve this issue between these two, there's nothing being done right now. These two are just kind of dwelling in their heads and resistant to making any moves. But this King of Pentacles feels like he might be worried about what other people think. There might be some kind of ego issue going on with this King of Pentacles. He's not willing to take any action or make any moves because I think he's afraid of what other people will think. I think I need to get some more cards on the table. And this Queen of Cups over here is a little perplexing too. We'll figure out what's going on with her. I can't tell if it's a separate person or not. Let's see what else we get for Aquarius. Six of Wands again in reverse. Now this is clarifying the Queen of Pentacles, so they both have the Six of Wands in reverse. Which could mean the same thing for her. And we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse for this king. The Hierophant this time in the upright position. The Tower in reverse. Wheel of Fortune. Three of Swords. You know, I was thinking with this Queen of Cups out here, third party, and here we have the Three of Swords that came out. So this could be a third party situation. King of Wands now. Interesting. And then we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So this King and Queen of Pentacles are both resistant to making any moves or doing anything with regard to resolving this issue between the two of them. Because I think they're both afraid of what other people are going to think. It could be that they don't want to look like they're to blame for this upset within this relationship. They could both be feeling like, oh, I don't want to look like I'm the reason why we're dealing with this problem. Could be that there are certain expectations and they can't make any moves to change the situation the way it is. This relationship is definitely a problem. There's something going on between these two that needs to be resolved. But if neither party takes any action to resolve this issue, things are going to continue to move forward the way they are. And that's also not an option. I think that that's what's stressing them out, is neither wants to make a move to resolve the problem, so things are going to continue to move forward the way they are, but that's going to make things even worse. And again, this could be a third-party situation. It could be that, and when I say third party, this doesn't have to mean that this is a marriage and that there's infidelity, but it could be. Third party can indicate just somebody else in the mix who's causing problems, or who's part of the problem, or could be part of the solution. But with the Six of Swords coming out here with this Three of Swords, it could be that there is a there's a need to leave behind maybe some opinions of others, or the influence of others, or an actual person or connection or relationship that's troubling this connection. It could be that the third party needs to be dismissed or left behind in order to resolve whatever issues are going on within this connection. This King of Wands and this set of cards over here is very confusing to me. It feels like separate people. This King of Wands, Queen of Cups. Let's talk about them a little bit, Aquarius, and then maybe it'll clear up in my head. So the King of Wands is somebody who's a natural born leader. This could be somebody who is responsible for making decisions, managing other people. This could be somebody who is a business owner or a boss, or again, somebody that others look up to or look to for guidance. This could be somebody who's connected to this King and Queen of Pentacles. It feels like somebody different. It doesn't feel like either one of these people. Who could be helping these two to get a new start. I think his efforts are being ignored though. And again, I think it's because these two, this King and Queen of Pentacles, are resistant to moving forward together because of this unresolved issue between them that neither one of them wants to work on. Neither one of them wants to take the initiative, whether that means communication, taking some kind of action to resolve the issue, coming to some kind of agreement. And then there's this Queen of Cups. This Queen of Cups feels like an external party to me, and this feels like somebody who could be on the outskirts looking in. The Queen of Cups is somebody who is a very loving and compassionate person. Somebody who's very emotional and willing to express herself and puts a lot of effort into those emotional connections that she has, regardless of what kind of connection it is. She's very intuitive. Very understanding, nurturing, compassionate, empathetic person. I'm trying to figure out if this King of Wands and Queen of Cups is associated, if they're associated with each other. This feels like 4 separate people in this reading. I'm going to get this next set of cards out, Aquarius, and we'll see what else we get. Could be wrong. So now we have the Queen of Swords and the 4 of Wands in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse. Death in the upright this time. The Chariot. Six of Pentacles in reverse. King of Swords. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles again. Okay, so this is very interesting. So I think the King and Queen of Swords is actually representing this Queen and King of Pentacles, and I think that I think both of them have a clear understanding of what's going on here. Both of them know the solution to this problem. Both of them know what they want out of the situation. Both of them know what's right and what they should be doing, how they should be acting, but neither one is doing it. So this is a clear example of two grown adults who have a very clear understanding of how they're behaving, what's transpiring because of their behavior, but then this unwillingness, reluctance, or even stubbornness to act upon what they know. I may not get details, Aquarius, regarding what is going on within this relationship. It feels like a partnership to me. It feels like it could be a married couple whose relationship is in trouble. And they may not just, it could be that they just don't want to admit that this relationship has failed. And they're just going to move forward with it anyway. Pretend like nothing's wrong and keep moving forward, even though both of them are definitely in their heads about that and concerned about what that looks like in the future. And they know they both know it's the wrong thing to do. They both know it's a big mistake, but it's happening because neither party is going to do anything different. It's almost like they're moving forward out of obligation, or because that's what's expected of them. This Queen of Cups is really confusing to me because there is indication that if things are made right, if actions are taken to correct the situation, resolve the issue, communicate and make things right, something very positive could come out of this, associated with this Queen of Cups. This does not feel like third-party infidelity to me. I mean, it could be, but it doesn't feel that way. It's possible. This could be the romantic interest of either one of these parties. If this is like a marriage in trouble, and the answer is for these two to split, and they do decide to do that, then this could be somebody who's waiting on the other side for either one of these parties. I don't know, Aquarius. This is a little confusing. I think that probably part of the reason why I'm having a hard time with this reading is because I think that this feels very general. It feels like it could go a bunch of different ways. So I'm not getting any specifics regarding the actual problems between these two, which would be helpful because then, you know, I could maybe read more into what the solution would be or what they're resisting, because they're both resisting making any moves, and I can't figure out why. I can't figure out why these two would just go ahead and move forward with the level of, the degree of anxiety that is attached to moving forward without resolving this issue. I don't understand why that would happen, but that's what's going on. Let's get this last round out, Aquarius. There's the Six of Wands for the third time, clarifying this Queen again. There are other, and then there's the, that's amazing, and then we have the Hangman out here for the King. So the Queen has six of, I'll just show you after I get the rest of these cards out. Five of Pentacles in reverse, Two of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, this time in the reverse, clarifying the Nine of Swords. The Sun, Seven of Cups, and then we have the Hermit. Okay, so she also has the Queen of Swords out here. I can't hold up all these cards, so I just want to show you the repeats for these two energies. And then he also has the Eight of Pentacles in his set of cards, but I'm not going to pick that one up either. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So, here we are. I think that the King has a clear understanding that he's being influenced by potentially the perception of others, or the anticipation of how others are going to see the situation or feel about his actions or inactions. Both are being influenced by others. The Queen is not making any moves because she feels like the King is responsible to make the first move. And I think he knows this. But neither party is taking any action. And due to that situation, things are going to stay the way they are. The dynamic is going to stay the way it is, and things are still going to move forward. Now, I don't know what that means, things are going to move forward. I can't tell you what that means. Move forward in the sense of the relationship continues as is, and things move forward into the future. Could be as simple as that. Move forward with regard to something that these two are working on together. Maybe they're partners in business. And it could be, if these two are partners in business, for example, that the conflict that they're experiencing, the failure of this relationship, would have an effect on that situation, the business, their employees, that kind of thing. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to say this because it keeps coming into my head, and I'm not saying that this is the situation for everybody. But the example that came into my head would be a partnership or marriage between two people who are both working in together as, I can't think of the words that I want to say. It's driving me nuts. In a religious sense. So heads of a church, for example. A pastor and his wife. You know, a deacon, a minister. People who are a head of a church or religion, and so the expectation of the people who follow them, the people who attend the church, the masses, whatever that looks like, have these certain expectations for the people who lead those organizations. And by expectations, I mean, you know, if you are in that kind of work, a large part of your work consists of helping other people with their personal relationships, right? Helping them make their marriages work and their families thrive. And if you're having these kind of troubles in your own marriage, what does that look like for those that look up to you for guidance and direction. That's the example that kept going through my head. And I thought, well, this is too specific to use in a reading, but it gives you a good idea of kind of what I'm getting out of the reading. An example that you can compare to your own situation. And I'm not saying that it's even close to that, but you get my drift. You get a clearer understanding of where I'm going with this reading. So Aquarius, we're going to get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card for you, and then we're going to wrap this up. So hopefully we can get some advice. Maybe we can get some clarity, some next steps forward. More than anything, I don't know what the answer is to this kind of situation. I don't know your situation. It does feel troublesome, confusing, hard, difficult, challenging. And I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. But I think that the one thing, and I say this a lot, the one thing I think that at least would help, I'm going to take this card, would be communication and just being honest. You know, face this from a perspective of being willing and able to meet on a level playing field and hear each other out, communicate, figure out what's best for both parties and all involved. So we have the Ten of Fire in reverse, which is the Ten of Wands in reverse. I'm going to read this card and we're going to wrap this up, Aquarius. I hope that this gives you some insight, maybe some advice on how you can solve some of these problems you're looking at. This is a potential blockage, excuse me, if it's in reverse. Here we go. The Ten of Fire reversed appears for two purposes. The first is to remind you that a master is only a master of self and the tools he wields. He is master to no other. Therefore, be careful not to extend your desire for control onto others, nor expect them to be as disciplined. You exhibit the self-control of a true master by letting go of the need to control others. Everyone is different, and some work to their best ability in a manner that seems random, chaotic, and lacking in any real purpose or direction. Do not attempt to impose the same limits and restrictions you are willing to embrace upon others. The second reason for its appearance is to tell you to remove the words "I cannot" from your vocabulary and to monitor your inner dialogue for defeatist or pessimistic beliefs. You will not succeed if you believe you will fail before you even have tried. Instead, do whatever you set your mind, body, and spirit to doing, and you will succeed even when you fail, because failure offers knowledge. Use that knowledge to formulate a new plan or direction. Use that knowledge to determine if you should embrace a different or less conventional or rigid way of working. Perfect. Use that knowledge to determine if you should embrace a different or less conventional or rigid way of working. Now, if I go back to that example that I was using, a couple who works in, the religious sense, they lead a church or whatever the case may be. And maybe you counsel families and partners and that kind of thing. There is nothing wrong with admitting that you're human. And there is nothing wrong with saying, look, I know exactly what you're going through because I'm going through it myself, or I've gone through it myself. And here's how I handled things. Here's how we handled things. What's wrong with looking at the situation and saying, you know what, we do have something to deal with, and it's the failure of this relationship. And maybe we need to reconsider how to handle the situation. And yeah, other people are looking at us to see an example to follow. Maybe your example to follow is say, look, the relationship is just not working out the way we had planned, the way we had hoped. And here's how we're handling it. And we're going to be mature adults about this. And we're going to think about this clearly, manage the situation, and make it work to the best of our ability. And then even though it may be a disappointment to others, it also may be an inspiration to others. Maybe it's a new way of leading. Maybe it's a new way of guiding other people. Maybe this is an opportunity set before you to change your way of thinking and to change who you are, and to show other people that even when faced with problems, you can turn them into learning experiences and ultimately come out all shiny and new on the other end. And I honestly, I think that this king and queen could potentially represent these two and what they have waiting on the other end if they choose to take a different path instead of just pushing forward with this. If these two rectify the situation and resolve their problems, and maybe that means splitting up, maybe they fix the problems, maybe that means that this person leads in a different way, and maybe that means that this person is able to find love and a relationship that matches her own energy. And maybe they both end up doing different things, but ultimately being happy. I'm just throwing that out there as an example. I don't usually carry on this long after pulling this last card, but I felt compelled. Okay, Aquarius, I hope that this reading resonated for you. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you want. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Aquarius.